Let's be honest. Being a business owner isn't always the easiest thing to do. It's not fun. It's not the most energetic thing to do at any given time of the day, but it certainly is, not for everybody. But, if you're doing it right, you're certainly going to enjoy it. You're certainly going to have, a great time along the way. What we are trying to do is build a business community to support one another, to learn from one another, to learn from each other's mistakes. So as we go through this project and we start to post different things about the business community, what we really, 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 really want to do is share information with one another to make sure that we're supporting one another and getting questions answered. So, while I've been doing this for 25 years and I'm a lawyer, my experience is limited, right? So there may be many other people that follow us, like us, trust us, see us, comment, that have very valid, if not, superior information in any given, field of reference. So what we are trying to do now is build a forum to support business owners. And that means, completely free. This is not any sort of paid service. Yes, we have a number of businesses that can certainly, help out business owners. But this forum that we are building, what we are trying to do right now is really just to support the local business community. And I say local, it doesn't have to be, here in Tampa where we're located. It could be Florida. I mean, small and medium-sized business owners, that's what we're trying to support. And here's the thing. If you're running, a mom and pop business, if you're running a lawn care company, if you're running a professional services firm, these are very disparate, very different types of businesses, but we all have very common headaches. So is there a way that we can all share information? Can we put together a forum where people can, honestly ask questions, learn from one another? How did you do this? How did you build this system? What do you think about this? And let's talk about it, folks, for a minute. So as I'm posting different videos that I think of, maybe of interest in what I've learned as a business owner, my experience is not the end all be all. And certainly there are many people that have very different experiences, even in the law firm world, even in the affiliated businesses that we have. I'm sure there are, no two experiences that are exactly identical. So let's really take time to interact with this content. And that's not just to support what we're doing here as a brand. Absolutely, the more you interact, that helps the algorithm and all the lovely algorithms and all those things. However, what we are really trying to do is build a source of information, a source of knowledge that can help, the community of people that are like-minded. So, oftentimes as we, get into this, I find business owners very scared or nervous and, thinking about failure. I mean, listen, if you've heard me talk about anything and, one thing that I embrace and understand, and depending on, what time of day and how bad the day is, that, how much I'm actually embracing it and not running from it. But, business is fear, business is failure. Business is not about, success after success after success. And if you can do that, great. I don't know how that's really possible if you're really out there pushing the boundaries. No one can get it right every single time. And if you hope to or expect to, I think you're setting yourself up for failure. But minimizing the risk, being able to pivot, upon a failure, making sure that you're doing as best as possible to make a quick decision that is good for your business, that, is not going to have, ridiculous consequences, thinking about the consequences, thinking a few steps ahead. These are always going to help you, but you can't get consumed by the what ifs, I don't know, not going to know, because we're never going to know all the information until we actually go do it. So, it's important to make the decisions as best you can and really look at judging the success and failure of what you did and making sure that you're honest with yourself, you're honest with your team. Now let's talk about that. So, I started this law firm just by myself, and I ran it independently on my own. Didn't even have someone answering calls for a year. I wanted, 365 days to really figure it out. That was based upon a lot of bad advice, I would like to say, some great lawyers that I absolutely love to death. But because I respected them as lawyers, I thought they knew something about this entrepreneurial world, which, when I look back in hindsight, they knew nothing about. The lawyers that I respected as practitioners, as people in court that were doing things that I respected, and I respected their legal mind, had never done anything like, what I was doing or what I wanted to do. So what did they really know? Now, I don't think that any of them tried to, lead me down the primrose path or, do any sort of damage to me. I think they were great friends. But put into perspective the advice that you are taking. Are they doing something that you want to achieve? Are they doing it in a way that you want to achieve? Listen, I have great friends and, great colleagues, great referral partners that run their law firms, by all accounts, very successfully. I want no part of it. I don't want to run a law firm that way. That's not the way I want to do it. And you have to be honest with yourself what you are trying to achieve. So if you're looking towards that goal, if you're looking towards that, person, that business model, that thing, don't be chasing things for unreasonable reasons. If someone's making money that you want to make, I think it's very easy to chase, money. If you are chasing a model, if you are chasing doing business the right way and giving back and making sure that you're leading with education and you're building something to be proud of, I think all the other things come. Now, of course, you need to pay attention to the finances and making sure that you're building a business appropriately. But I think just chasing things because you've been told that this model works or this money is where I need to be, I think is really not ever going to get you the success that you want. If you're looking at building something and making sure that everything is in line with a successful business and what that means to you, then for sure I think that you're building something that you can be proud of. But if you're just worried about keeping up with the Joneses, if you're just worried about making XYZ dollars, I think you're really losing sight of it. Can you be successful? Can you do those things? Of course. But if you're really looking to build something to disrupt the market or to really be your own or really, custom crafted the way you want, I don't think that's the way it's, way to go. So, as we embark upon this whole journey together, we're going to be starting a few new ventures. You're going to, learn about some online education that we're offering, our venerable, business advisory company, some of our media services and things like that. I'm not here to promote all these things all at once. And yes, I also want to build successful brands. But what I really want to do, please hear me front line and center. Please hear me as clear as you can hear it. What I want to try to do, what I am going to do in some way, shape, or form. And if you're in for the ride, great. If you don't want to join us, no problem. That's fine too. I'm not everybody's cup of tea. I want to build a community of like-minded individuals that want to support each other. I want when I post a video to say, nope, you're wrong. What about this? And, oh, you're right. I like this. Or, here's a variation, or we could do it this way. Hey, have you thought about, talking to this guy over here? That's what I really want to build for the business community. Yes, I am a lawyer. Yes, I do think I have some good experience to lend to the situation for legal reasons, but it's also my experience as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, as a business partner, seeing, hundreds of deals come together and break apart. These are all things that I can add, but it's one perspective. And, really, of course, I wouldn't give advice or talk about anything that I thought was inappropriate, but unless and until we can really take in as much information that's helpful to us as possible, I don't think we're doing it right. So I really want to build a group, that's along the journey with us. And please help us do that. Please, comment, ask questions, ask for referrals. Hey, who would you use for this? What would you do for that? I'm going to tell you, we are really right now together to put together a couple of business models. I don't know that this has ever been done in the legal world, especially not by a lawyer. And I don't know, I don't think we're going to be able to do it directly with a law firm, but one of our affiliated businesses, I'm going to start that up in full public view. I know others have done this, so this is not, an only me thing. I think it's still pretty rare, but I'm going to start one of these affiliated businesses in full public view. What does that mean? It means that we're going to give as much information as we can to people. We're going to share finances. We're going to share books. We're going to share products used. We're going to share pluses and minuses. Like, look, we used this marketing company. They were really bad. We switched to this. We paid attention to that. What, email platform do you use? And make it as open source as possible so people can learn, people can interact. I want to take advice from the people that know what the heck they're doing. Like, there's all sorts of things that I don't know in the business world that can help out, my business. And I'm limited to the amount of research I can do. I'm limited to my opinions. I'm limited to my circle of influence. So by means of, digital media, I really want to take advantage of the biggest community we possibly can to all help each other grow. And I'm committed to doing that. And I want, these videos, these topics, these educational, fora that we are doing, whether it be webinar or, lives or anything like that. I want it to all be in furtherance of helping each other grow. And that means, by referrals, that means by, sharing business, that means by throwing out ideas that were helpful to us that we make no money off of, sharing ideas that we completely lost money on, and putting the ego aside to tell you like, yep, I wasn't really thinking straight on that. And I got plenty of those folks. I will certainly share. My ego is pretty well intact, but I can definitely tell you, pluses and minuses and things that I regret doing. And if I look back on, I would do it differently. And as we start these new businesses, we really want to start them clean. And when I say clean, I mean, the way we want to from day one. That doesn't mean they're not going to change, of course. Everything is subject to change at a certain point in time. But, really at some point along the way, what we want to do is get to the point where we're running businesses as efficiently, as hands-off, as true business models versus nice jobs. We want to run a model that everybody can be proud of, including, my team, including any of my business partners, of course, including the outside world. And, we can all participate in this together. So if you're along for the ride, please join along. If you like the content, of course, please, share, add comments, all of the things that will, continue to grow this presence. But, our next step will be the Business Disruptor Academy. And that product is coming out in a couple of months. And, through that product and through what we are doing now, we're trying to really build this community, this forum, to support business owners. And I want to be clear on that. It doesn't have to be about the bottom line for me, for Venerable, any of the Venerable affiliates. It's about growing the knowledge base of that community and helping all of us along the way. So if you're along for the ride, please jump in, both feet in, and we're happy to have you.